It is not like you have to just attend and skip. So did you perform? Try. Tell me. We just have to use the for loop inside the function. No problem. Okay. Pranav, can you share the screen and tell me, just show me what you have performed? Pratham, what did you forget? Okay, you can take the screenshot and share with me whatever you have performed, Pranav. And if possible, don't use the mobiles for lectures. You should actually have proper, you should sit properly, with table, chair, properly in good posture. Okay, while attending the classes, that is not only for me, for others also. Okay, so that you can perform, you can see the screen properly, whatever we are sharing. It is difficult to see the codes on mobile. Okay, so if possible, if you have all the things available with you, laptops, etc., you can always use that, prefer that instead of mobile. Okay, but if it is power cut off, etc., in such cases, you can go for mobile. Right. So this is first week, that's why we are not restricting you, etc. But we have already started with the academics, isn't it? We are about to end the explanation of first assignment. So it is supposed that you should perform simultaneously. Otherwise, there will be only one way teaching and you will not get anything. Okay, just to see the program is different thing and you have to try the things by your own. So you will face the problems. Okay, and unless you are facing the problems, you will not be able to handle it. Okay, so will you assure me that before the next turn you will be ready with your first assignment properly? Okay, and randomly I can ask anyone to share the screen and show the program. And if you are not, if it is not possible to share the screen, that code must be available on the Google Classroom also. Okay, because I will be asking you to submit all the assignments on the Google Classroom. Fine. After the explanation, I will give you 3-4 days of time to complete that assignment, and then you have to submit that assignment on the Google Classroom along with the write-up. I will share the write-up format also. Okay, so you have to describe the theory part, the concept which we are learning in that assignment. So in this set assignment, what we are learning? We are learning about arrays. We are learning about functions and how to pass arrays to the functions. Okay, how call by reference is getting used with arrays, that we are learning. So it is expected that you should write the theory related to it and then the application of it in sets. Okay, then the program and output. Clear? So I will share with you one sample assignment also, how to write the assignment, that will be clear from that. Okay, sample write up I will share, and the format also. But most important thing is you should implement by your own and you should attach your own, you should submit your own codes. Okay, so that type of things all of us have to maintain if we have to improve our coding. Okay, so I'll start sharing the screen. We will start with the explanation, but anyone who wants to share the screen and show the program that they have performed yesterday.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead, Chaitanya.
Ma'am, my screen is visible.
Yes, it is.
ओके मैम. मैम यहाँ पे मैंने इंटरसेक्शन का लिखा है प्रोग्राम.
Okay.
यूनियन का नहीं लिखा, सिर्फ उसका मतलब फंक्शन डेफिनेशन लिख लिया है. और
Mm-hmm.
एक मिनट. यस.
Okay, you have completed the accept and display part.
यस
You
मैम.
have not written the validation function,
नो
no?
मैम. नो नो.
Okay. So
एंड
accept and
द
display is
एंड
working.
इंटरसेक्शन.
Okay. Intersection is working. Show the
यस मैम.
definition of intersection function.
यस मैम.
Okay. Good. Fine. Can you show the execution?
यस मैम. मैम, it is taking some time because something went wrong.
Okay, no problem.
Yes.
Anyone else would like to show your code who has performed? Okay, good, Chaitanya. Fine. I will start the presentation now and I will explain the remaining program. It is union function logic that I had asked you to think about the logic for union function, isn't it? So declaration of union is same. And what should union do? Union function, what output is expected from it? It should have collection of all the elements of both the input sets. Okay, so if there is repetition, that means common elements are there between both the sets, then those common elements must be written only once in the union set. Set it. And so if some students they are using union as the name of the function, they will get the error because union is a keyword. Okay, so don't use union as
Ma'am,
the name. Yes,
am I audible, ma'am?
yes, you are.
Ma'am, can you please explain intersection once again?
Okay, I'll do that. Fine. So accept display is clear. There is no problem in accept display,
Yes,
no?
ma'am.
Okay. So in intersection, what
No,
we
ma'am.
did, we passed two sets, input sets, set 1 and set 2 and their dimensions, and we have obtained the resultant in set 3. Okay. The intersection resultant is obtained in set 3 and it is returning in 3 dimension of that resultant set. Okay. So this is called to intersection function. And we are displaying this output set with its dimension n3. For that we are calling the same display function. Okay, so in intersection function, what is the job of intersection function? It is to find the common elements. Okay, so here we are getting I have written example in the comments. Okay, set 1 it is having 1 2 3 4 5 and set 2 is suppose 1 6 3 8. Then in intersection how it should run, it should take one element of set 1 okay, at a time, and it should be compared. That element should be compared with all the elements of set 2. Okay, so 1 is taken from here, okay, first element of set 1, and it is compared with 1. The match is found. So if the match is found, we will write that element into the resultant set because we want common elements. Okay, fine. So in case of 1, the match is found here. That's why we have written the, we will write it immediately into the resultant set. In case of the next element, 2, we will search 2 again in the whole set 2. Okay, so it will be compared with 1, 6, 3, 8, but match is not found. Okay, that's why we will neglect it. We will not write 2 in the resultant set. Fine. Similarly with 3, 3 will be searched. It will be compared with all the elements of set 2. Okay, if match is found, it will be returned into the resultant, otherwise it will be neglected. Okay, after comparison with all the elements of set 2, we will decide that if the match is not found, that means we have to neglect it. Okay, so we are using nested loop for that. So this first for loop for I equal to 0 to n1, this is for uh, pointing to the current element of set 1. So set 1 will start from I equal to 0 and till I is equal to n minus 1. Okay, last element in set 1 is n1 minus 1. Clear? That's why this is the loop which is index of the first set, first array. Then this j loop, it is j is the index of the second array, the second set. Okay, so j also will vary from 0 to n2. Okay, that means last index will be n2 minus 1 of the set 2. So for every element of set 1, it will be compared with all the elements of set 2. Okay, clear? And the comparison will be between set 1 of I, because I is index of first set and j is index of second set. So for every index of set 1, it should be compared with all the indices of set 2. Okay, so this comparison will happen, and if the match is found, we will decide to write that element into the resultant set at position n3. N3 is initially 0 because initially we cannot predict how many elements will be there in the resultant. So we will assume n3 is equal to 0. Okay, the number of elements in the set 3 will be initially 0, and as we go on finding the matches, we will go on incrementing this n3. Okay, so at 0th location, the first match will be written, then n3 will be incremented. So next element which is found common, that will be written to the next position, that is incremented n3, and n3 will be incremented again. Okay, so if the match is found, then only we are going to copy it into resultant. Otherwise, we are going to neglect it. That is, we have not written here else part, so we will do nothing. Okay, else part nahi matlab if the match is not found, we are not going to do anything. Clear? Fine. And
mm,
yes, and after the I loop is ended, that is all the elements of first set are compared with all the elements of second set, then only we will stop this and n3 will be written. Yes, any doubt?
Ma'am,
Hmm?
I wanted to say that if we add a break statement after
Hmm.
the n3 plus plus,
Hmm.
then we can save more time.
Yes, it is correct. You can write here break so
Yes,
that
ma'am.
the comparison will not be done. Once the match is found, it will not be compared with other elements of set 2. Okay, so the time will be saved. Correct.
ma'am, I had a doubt.
Hmm.
Ma'am, N3 is the number of elements in set 3, right?
Yes, it is also behaving as
N3,
index. It is also behaving
okay.
as index.
Yes, ma'am, that was a doubt. N3 plus plus, what that will do exactly?
Yes, so initially when number of elements are 0, the index also starts from 0. Okay, so same n3 we are using. And when we are incrementing n3, the number of elements will be increased to 1. And similarly, next element should be returned to first position, position 1. That's why set
Okay.
n3 is used for both the purposes. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Any other doubt here in intersection? Is the function clear? Now, union. Union also has similar definition. It means the number of parameters and the parameter set is similar. Okay. Now here in union, suppose these are the two sets on which we are working, set 1 and set 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 1, 6, 3, 8, the same elements. Now we have to calculate the resultant set. Okay. So set 3 is equal to, now what is the definition of union? It should have all the elements once, isn't it? So I can say that first set will be as it is present in the resultant. Okay, so all these set 1 elements are present in set 3 as it is. Okay, that will be my first step, to copy the first set elements as it is in set 3, because all of them are present once and they will be part of our resultant. Okay, and the next step is, second step is, I will take one by one element of set 2 and I will check whether it is already there in set 3. If it is already there, I will neglect it. But if it is not there, then I have to copy it. I have to append the set 3 array with that element. Okay. So common elements between set 1 and set 2, they will be neglected now. Exactly reverse like intersection. Okay. So if there are common elements, then we are going to neglect it. But if it is uncommon element, then we will be writing it into the resultant set. Clear? So step 1 is copying the first set as it is into the resultant, and second step is to take one by one element from set 2. Okay, so first element 1 is taken from here and it is checked whether 1 is already written in the set 3 or not. Yes, it is already there. So we will neglect it. We will not copy it into the resultant again. Okay, then next element 6 is taken. 6 will be compared with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But match is not found. So we are comparing with all the elements present in set 3 and then we are saying that 6 is not present. That's why I can write 6 in the resultant. Okay, then next element is 8. 8 will be again compared with all the elements of set 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 8 is not there and I will write 8 here. Okay, you can decide to compare with set 3 elements or set 1 elements, because set 3 we have created from set 1 only. Okay, so you can have comparison between set 2 and set 1, and if it is uncommon then you can append it into the set 3. Okay, clear? The logic is clear what we are going to follow here, or there is any doubt in logic? Yes, anyone? If you have doubt in the logic, then we will discuss it again and then we will discuss the code. But if logic is clear, we can go for checking the code of it. No doubt? Yes, Ninad? Is it clear? Ninad is present. Unmute and discuss. Ninad, are you there? Sriram? Sriram, unmute and speak. Yes, you should be constantly present in the lecture. Whenever I say unmute, you have to unmute. Yes, Sriram. You can put in chat box whether you understood the logic of union or not. If your mic is not working, put in the chat box. Yes, you understood. Okay, we can go ahead. So in union, our first step is to copy set 1 as it is in set 3. Okay, so this for loop, it is doing that job. So n3 is initially, it will be 0. Okay, again, n3 dimension of the resultant set is initially 0. And our first step is to copy all the elements as it is in set 3. So the indices will be same of both set 1 and set 3. Here I equal to 0 to n1. I'm copying all the elements of set 1 into set 3. So set 3 of I is equal to set 1 of I. Okay, and similarly my dimension also of the set 3 will be n3, which is equal to n1 at this moment. Okay, so at this moment the dimension is also same and the elements will also be same in set 3. Okay, now second step is to check set 2 elements with set 1 or set 3, because set 1 and set 3 are same. So you can decide to compare it with set 1 or set 3. Okay, as we want to find whether they are already there or not. Okay, so again here we have to write a loop similar to intersection. Okay, because we are going to now find common elements between set 2 and set 3. So this part will be same, but the action taken on common element is different. So here we are going to neglect the common elements. In intersection, we were what we were doing, we were interested in common elements as a result. Okay, so here if we find common elements, that will be neglected. So break will be happening on it. So set 2 of I is compared with set 3 of J, and if the match is found, break will be executed. Okay, so with this break, which loop will be over? This J loop will be over, and then I also will be ended. Okay, because see, uh, so here when we say, okay, here J loop is over. Okay, J loop is over. This is if, which is ended here. So we have compared with all the elements of set 3 and we did not find a match. That's why, sorry, we find a match, then we will break. And if we don't find a match, that means this loop will be over because of J equal to n3. That means we have compared with all the elements. Clear? So when this loop will be over, either the break statement is executed because a match is found, or we did not find a match and J has reached to n3. Then, okay, so these are the two conditions where this loop can end. Okay, and that we will check here whether J has reached to n3. So if it has reached to n3, that means we did not find a match and this break is not executed. Okay, but if J is not equal to n3, J has ended. This loop is ended well before n3. J has reached to n3. That means a match is found somewhere. Okay, that element is common. Clear? So if that element is common, then this loop, this condition will not be executed. But this condition is executed when we have compared with all the elements. Okay, and then we can write that element, that ith element, okay, set 2 of I in our set 3. Okay, at n3 position, and n3 will be incremented. Okay, and here I loop is ending. समझ में आ रहा है? समझ में आ रहा है? Any doubt? And after I loop is ending, then we can return final n3. That means we have checked with all the elements of set 2. Okay, then we can return n3, final value of n3. Any doubt here? Is this step 2 clear? So this step 2 is similar to our intersection function, but the only change is in the intersection we were interested in common elements, but here we are interested in uncommon elements. Okay, that's why when we are sure that it is not common element, then only we are writing that element in the N3. Okay, so after comparing with all the elements of set 3, we are deciding to write it into set 3. Okay, so after J loop is over, then only we are writing it into the set 3 if J has reached N3. That means we have compared with all the elements. Fine. Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so step 1 क्या है हमारा यूनियन का to copy first set as it is into the set 3. Okay, and its dimension also will be copied as it is. So N3 will be in N1. And in step 2, we are doing similar thing like intersection, but what we are doing, we are interested in uncommon elements. So if it is not common, uncommon है तो ही हम लिख रहे हैं. Okay, if common है, common element है तो we are breaking. Okay, we are neglecting that element. Uncommon है तो ही we are writing it into the set 3. ठीक है, clear? So shall I execute it? ये एक बार execute करते हैं. Accept two sets. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Accept second set. 1, 5, 6, 3. Suppose these are the two sets. So first set will be written as it is, and from second set, which are the common elements, 1 is common and 5 is common. Okay, so those will be skipped and 6, 3 will be written into the resultant. Okay, so 3, option 3.
Ma'am,
Okay,
hello.
yes.
Ma'am,
Huh.
execution window is not on the screen.
Okay, I'll just check. So I'm presenting the window, that's why. Present the complete screen. Now it is there.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So these are the two input sets. Okay. So out of this, 1 is common, 5 is also common, and 3 is common. So only uncommon element is 6, which will be written at the end. Okay. Okay. So first set is copied as it is in the first step in the union set, and in the next step we have checked whether 1 is there in set 3. Yes, it is there, so it will be neglected. 5 is there in the union. Yes, it is already there, so it will be also neglected. 6 is not found in this, so it will be written at the end, and 3 is also matched, so it will also be neglected. Clear? Fine. Any doubt है तो पूछो. Otherwise, I will go ahead and explain the next function, which is difference function. Or can you try the difference function by your own? Hmm? Yes. So, what is the logic of difference function? Difference is nothing but elements which are present in first set and not present in second set. Okay, so that is the difference. So suppose on same two sets, set 1 and set 2, I want to find difference. Difference is equal to, now here 1, it is present in the second set. Okay, so common hai to we will neglect it. Again 2 will be compared, 2 will be searched in the second set, it is not found. So 2 will be written here. Okay, 3 will be searched here, 3 is present, so it will be neglected. 4, it is not present here, so 4 will be in the difference set. 5 is also not there in the second set, so 5 will be here. Okay, that is set 1 minus set 2. Okay, so set 1 minus set 2 is equal to 2, 4, 5. Because 1 and 3 are common, so those will not be written. Okay, and if I want set 2 minus set 1, then what will be set 2 minus set 1 in this case? So I will be handling set 2 first, okay, and all the elements of set 2 will be compared with set 1 elements in this case. So 1 will be compared with set 1 elements, 1 is found, okay, so it will be neglected. 6 will be checked whether it is there in the set 1, it is not there, so 6 will be written here in the output. Then 3 is present, so it will be neglected. 8 is not present in set 1, so it will be written in the output. Okay, clear? So this is set 1 minus set 2 and this is set 2 minus set 1. And what is symmetric difference? It is union of these two differences. Okay, set 1 minus set 2 union set 2 minus set 1. Okay, that is symmetric difference. So these are the students who like only maths and not science. Set 1 minus set 2, they are the students who like only maths. And set 2 minus set 1 are the students who like only science. Okay, and if I ask you to tell the students who like only one subject, okay, that is only maths or only science, so that will be with symmetric difference. Okay, clear? So symmetric difference is equal to union of these two differences, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8. Okay, so these are the students who like only one subject. Any doubt? So can you think about the logic of difference function, or shall I explain it? Yes, Kshitija. Are you there, Kshitija? What? Yes. Shall I explain? Or you will do by your own? I can't table means what? I'm not getting, Kshitija. You explain. Okay, I will explain, but when you will try? See, this is first code, that's why I'm explaining completely. Next time onwards, I will be just discussing the logic, and you have to try by your own. Otherwise, you will not apply your own logic. No, you should also think logically and write the code by your own. You might think different method. Okay, this is the logic which I have applied. Might be there will be another logic. See here in difference function also. See, for calculating symmetric difference, you can have another logic. Okay, there is another formula for it. So you can try that logic also. Okay, so difference function. Here we are interested in elements of first set which are not in second set. Okay, that's why we will again search here whether that element is common or not, like intersection. Okay, element of first set is searched in the second set. If it is found, okay, we will break like we did in the second step of union. Okay, common है तो neglect करो. But if it is not found, then that first set element should be written into the resultant. Okay, set one element should be written into the resultant. So this difference function is similar to our second step of union. Okay, because we are interested in uncommon elements. Okay, so it is, if it is uncommon, then we are writing that first set element into the resultant. Clear? And if I want set 2 minus set 1, then should I write another function? ये हो गया set 1 minus set 2. If I want set 2 minus set 1, then should I write another function?
Ma'am, we will have to only change one thing in the n1. We will have to change n1 by n2.
And set 1 by set 2. So what you will do, you will pass set 2 n2 first and set 1 n1 as
Yes,
the
ma'am.
next parameter in the column. Okay, but the function definition will remain same, isn't it? So same
Yes,
function
ma'am.
definition difference you will call once again by passing the parameters in the reverse order. Okay, so see here we have called difference function where we are passing set 1 n1, set 2 n2, and we are storing it in set 3. Okay, so this will give us set 1 minus set 2. Okay, set 1 minus set 2. And we will call the same difference function again by passing set 2 n2 first and set 1 n1 as the next parameters. Okay, and that difference we are storing in set 4 with n4 dimension. Okay, so this will be set 2 minus set 1. Set 4 will be set 2 minus set 1. Clear? And if we make the union of this, we have already written union function. So same union function if we call on this set 3 and set 4, okay, then it will give us the symmetric difference. That is the students who like only one subject. Clear? That is symmetric difference. And there is another formula for it. You can search for it and you can think about its logic also. Okay. So you can have another logic also for calculating symmetric difference. And
Ma'am, please show the definition of difference function once.
definition of difference function. Here. This is similar to second step of union, where we are
Okay, ma'am.
interested in uncommon elements. Okay. So here
Yes,
we are
ma'am.
searching for common, and common है तो break किया है, and uncommon है तो we have written that set one element into set 3. Okay.
Ma'am,
Hmm.
in our input in the int difference,
Hmm.
we have written int set1 and
Hmm.
n1 and int set2 n2. So
Hmm.
then when we are going for the b minus a
Hmm.
difference, then
Hmm.
actually set2 will be in set1 and set1 will
Yes.
be in set2.
Yes, but these are the local parameters as we have discussed. Their scope is limited to this function only.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So this set one is different and that set one in main function that is different.
Okay,
Okay.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So whatever you are passing from there, it will, the first parameter will be stored in set one, second parameter will be in n1, third parameter will be in this array, like that. Okay.
Okay,
And
ma'am. Okay.
operation will be done on this. Clear? So shall we see the output?
Yes, ma'am.
So 5 elements. Second. Okay. Okay, only 2 elements. I'll just accept once again. I'll accept the elements again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is set 1. And in set 2, I have 4 elements, which are, suppose, 2, 5, 7, 8. Okay, so these are the two sets. I will call directly symmetric difference. What should be the output of symmetric difference? Set 1 minus set 2 will be 1, 3, 4. Isn't it? Set 1 minus set 2. First difference will be 1, 3, 4. And second difference will be set 2 minus set 1 will be
7, 8.
7, 8. So 1, 3, 4, 7, 8. That should be symmetric difference. Okay. So 1, 3, 4 is A minus B. First set minus second set. And the difference set 2 minus set 1 is 7, 8. And this is the symmetric difference. Okay. So this is the roll numbers of the students who like only maths. This is roll numbers of the students who like only science, and these are the roll numbers of the students who like only one subject. Okay, clear? Any doubt in this? So from this assignment, what we understood, what was the objective of this assignment? That you should understand how to use array, how to pass arrays to the function, and in arrays, call by reference. Arrays are always passed to the functions with call by reference. Isn't it? So whatever changes we are doing in those arrays in the uh, function, those are permanent changes. Okay, because arrays are always passed with call by reference. Fine. So in theory, you have to write these things that this assignment is telling us, uh, or from this assignment we understood these things. Okay. So we are not interested in what is the application. We are not learning here set operations. Set operations already we know. But here we are applying certain things from programming. Isn't it? So we have to understand those things. Any doubt? Shall I stop sharing? Okay, so the task for you people is you have to solve this assignment completely. Yes, and we have to discuss a validation function also, isn't it? We have not yet discussed. So what is validation and why it is required? Validation of input. So we have to be sure before we start the processing, we have to be sure that we are having the proper input with us. Okay. So in input validation is very much required. If you want the proper output, you have to be sure that you have proper input with you. Okay. So in input validation, in case of sets, when we say that set is valid set, if you don't have any repeated element in it, isn't it? So that means that is a valid set. So in this validate function, what we are doing is we are checking, we are comparing the set with itself, all the elements of the set with itself. Okay, like we have done the comparison with set 1 and set 2. Similarly, we are comparing now with the same set elements. Okay, so both the loops, they are running with the same dimension, I equal to 0 to n, and j is equal to 0 to n, where n is the dimension of that particular set. Okay, and we are comparing here set 1 of I and set 2 of j, and we have a condition I is not equal to j. That means we are having the same element at two different positions, at different I and j positions. That means the same element is present at two positions, which is not required in case of set. Okay, so in that case, return 0. 0 means false, flag for false. Okay, that means it is not a correct set. So immediately we are returning 0. And if this comparison is properly done and we find that the same element is present at same position only, every element is present at the same position only, then this loop will completely execute properly. Okay, and then we can return 1. Okay, so if this loop completely executes properly, okay, then this function will return 1. That means true. That means your set is good. Okay. So this validate function is called after we accept set1 and 1. Okay. Accept after the accept function, we are calling this validate function, and we are checking for this flag f whether it is 0 or 1. If flag is 0, then we are taking the dimension again from sorry, we are calling accept again for the same set. We are asking the user to enter proper values in set 1 again until the flag becomes 1. Okay, until the flag becomes 1. So when flag will become 1, that means we are sure that we have the valid set with us. Okay. Similarly, when we are accepting second set, we are checking whether it is valid or not. Okay, validate function call किया है. If flag is 0, that means the input is not valid. We are calling accept again. Okay, so in a loop we are calling this until the flag becomes 1. Okay, clear? So if we have the valid input with us, then only we are moving ahead and we are displaying that out. We are accepting that input. Okay, for processing. Clear? So you can write this validate function also. So I have explained this assignment completely. Okay, and in the next turn we will do. I will ask you, suggest you some changes in this one of the function. Okay, intersection or union. In any one of the function, I will just ask you to do certain changes and check the output. Okay, so that code should be ready with you. Complete program should be ready with you. Okay. So if you have any doubt, you can discuss with me.